I'm Libby VanderPloeg, and this is Finlandia Fridays.
Welcome to Finlandia Fridays. My name is Michael Babcock. I am your host for this weekly interview series here at Finlandia University. This week we are joined by a visiting artist, which is always exciting because we get artists that come from all over the world. They do really amazing things. This one's actually right here in Michigan. She's got a really cool background. Libby VanderFloog. Libby, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Michael. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're super excited. I know you've been around campus for a couple of days now. It's been a lot of fun. I saw on Instagram you had a really wonderful sauna experience, so we're going to ask about that a little later. You can never get enough sauna experiences.
No, you can't.
But before we go into that, I'll give you a little background on who Libby is, what she's doing here. She's a professional artist and illustrator. She's been featured in all kinds of places. I'm going to throw out some really cool things because it's not often we get to throw out these kind of names. But featured in New York Times, Netflix, Huffington Post, Penguin Random House, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, and it was even an artist for a TED Talk, which is really cool. Really amazing stuff.
Thank you.
And a couple of it has worked out really well.
Yeah, I've had some really surprising viral moments in my career, which, you never can plan for that. But when that happens, it's pretty much the best thing. I mean, it could be the best thing. It could also be really bad. But in my experience, it was really good. I created a piece 2 years ago now. I call it Lift Each Other Up. It's women that are helping each other up. One grabs a hold of someone's foot, lifts her up, and someone from above lifts the next one up. And it's a chain like that. So I created that, just had this idea at 10 a.m. and then I went home and I had it done by 5 p.m. And I was like, this is kind of a cool idea. So I found a way to post it on the internet. I put it on Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook. And then it just got picked up on Facebook, really is where it kind of just grew into this kind of thing with its own life. And it is one of my more viral works. Yeah. I know that it's had 25 million views.
Which is a ton. And it's also something that when I first saw it, before I even knew you were coming here, I was like, or when I found out you were coming up here, I was like, oh, I recognize that. I remember seeing that when it happened. So it's definitely out there quite a bit.
Yeah, it's one of those pieces where people are like, you made that? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I did. It's pretty funny and weird. It's a strange kind of...
Yeah, and then you also had another piece that was even more successful in the viral sense.
Yeah, in the viral sense. It was another one of those things where I had this idea in the morning. It was a cold morning. I woke up and I made this animated GIF of a woman layering on all of these sweaters. A sweater, jacket, scarf, hat, and then that was the end. And that I put on the internet and it just went and it blew up. And to date now I know that it's had 250 million views. But I don't know. It could be even more than that.
Yeah, that is
It's pretty crazy. It's a strange kind of intersection of being an artist and illustrator. And now I feel like I'm sort of part of this like meme language as well, where your art kind of goes out into the world and it's like goes and it becomes its own thing. And you just like, bye art. Good luck out there. Don't get beat up.
Absolutely. That's kind of modern art, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the internet has changed everything, the way we share our work. And in some cases, it kind of changes the kind of work we make, too. As an artist, it can be easy to want to make things that are really just fun and kind of gooey and shareable. But while I like to do some work that is fun and gooey and shareable, I also think it's important in my practice to also make work that has, a social purpose that I feel like it's doing something valuable or I'm making something valuable, maybe helping people think in new ways.
Right, and you can definitely tell which of those two you're more passionate. One has 10 times as many views that you know of, but ultimately the other one is where your heart seems to be, in terms of like, this is really your work, this is representing who you are and what you believe in.
Yeah, I was inspired by my own community of women that I had around me that were helping me not quit my desire to be a small business owner, a freelance illustrator, and support myself with the kind of work that I loved making.
Yeah. This brings me to a really important question that I'm interested in your perspective, given that you're a professional. GIF or GIF?
I prefer to say GIF.
Okay.
Although I will not go, what'd you say? If you say GIF.
Yeah, GIF.
What was that?
Yeah.
What's that? Peanut butter?
Right?
Yeah,
right?
it sounds like peanut butter to me.
So you're a GIF person then?
Yes.
It's official. Finlandia Fridays is official. We're going with GIF moving forward. So
it's the gift that keeps on giving, not the GIF, right? Yeah. That's how I remember the
That
phrase
is
anyways.
wonderful, and hopefully our students will remember that as they move forward in their career.
Yes.
And which brings me to my next thing I wanted to talk to you about. As a visiting artist, you came to Finlandia, and one of the things that we do with visiting artists is we get them right in the face of our students. I know you've met with a couple different groups, spoken classes. Tell us a little bit about what that's been like.
It's been really awesome. Just this morning, I went to Phyllis's Diploma Works class, it's a group, the senior class, which is about 8 students, and showed them some of my work and told them my very meandering story of how I came to be what I consider now a professional working artist, and got some feedback from them and really good questions that even I was like, I really don't know how to answer that, Being an artist, it's always kind of something you have to brace yourself for unpredictability. There's not a regular schedule necessarily, and there's not a regular paycheck.
Right.
And you may find one person pays you 10 times more than another person pays you, and you really have to sort of figure out how you want to value your work. And they are asking me these questions, and sometimes it's really hard to say to people, I have no answer for that. Nope, you just have to ask yourself those questions, and they have really interesting ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things I love about that is we promote this actually. 8-to-1 is our average class size here. So those students really got a chance to get to know you. What was that like, having them just really be right there, and it kind of forces them to ask questions. It forces them to be engaged. There's when there's only 8 students, there's no slacking off. You're a part of this class. You're part of this discussion.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody felt, when I was in college and a visiting artist would come and talk, it was easy to sink into the back of the classroom and not get involved. But I think it's great it was great to see them all really rack their brains and try to think, okay, this is an opportunity. I should take this opportunity. I know I must have a question. Let me think back. And you could tell that they were really working to be engaged and use the time usefully, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I did catch the beginning of your presentation, and you showed a little piece of your first artwork.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. It was.
Which one was it, the giraffe?
I think it was the giraffe.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was clearly a thing that's meant to tell people that you can be an artist.
Yeah.
You're passionate about it.
Yeah. Yes, that piece, that to me was a very defining moment for me, because I had created this watercolor painting, and I was in a hallway in an elevator on my way out of the classroom, and some stranger said to me, "Hey, that looks pretty good." And I just was like, "Hey, I don't know this person. Maybe they're right, because why would they say this to a stranger?" Well, of course, maybe they were just being nice. But still, to me, I was like, you might be right. I don't trust my parents. They're just going to always be nice to me and tell me my work is good. But it's so important to have those moments where you're getting an outside objective opinion, like an honest or just nice critique from a stranger.
Yeah, and I love that. How old were you at the time?
7.
So if you were that person, make sure you write to us. We want to get you on. We want to do a little reunion to know that you motivated somebody who has inspired so many people across the nation here. The final piece I want to talk to you a little bit about is you're in the UP. You're from downstate. You mentioned before the show that you've been in the UP before visiting. But this is a whole different experience in the UP. What's it been like?
It's been wonderful. I mean, as everybody here knows, it's beautiful. It's this pristine nature that you get a mix of beautiful rocky coastline, and it's not like the rocky coastline in other areas. It's a little less sandy than downstate, or so parts of it are. But just the culture here is really friendly. It's a little more laid back, which is really nice. And I feel like, I kind of feel like this has been a fun opportunity to get in touch with some of my roots, my heritage. I am part Finnish. My great-grandmother was from a small fishing village right on the Russian border and moved here in 1900. So I'm kind of getting... I'm getting a very Sisu vibe while I'm here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you got to do one of my all-time favorite things, sauna to Lake Superior.
I had a wonderful afternoon yesterday. Went with my cousin once removed, who is coincidentally the director of the gallery here. And we did a sauna on Lake Superior, and it was wonderful. It was a very Scandinavian UP experience.
Yeah, everybody needs to put that on their bucket list if it's not already there. It's a wonderful experience. I want to thank you, Libby, for being on the show. The biggest thing, though, is how can people get a hold of you, or not necessarily a hold of you, how can they follow your work?
You can find my work on my website. That's libbyvanderploeg.com. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Libby VanderPloeg, and that's VanderPloeg.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of content on the Instagram, and I try to make it fun. So follow along if you want.
Yeah, she does a great job. She's a must follow. We will have links in the show notes. If you go to finlandia.edu/Fridays, we'll have a link to her website, her Instagram, some of her amazing work. Can we post the picture of the giraffes?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That'll be there too. Look for that, because that's a really cool piece of artwork and a cool story behind it that you now know. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank all of you guys for tuning in this week. We'll see you next Friday.